Literally just 5 seconds ago, I did an episode on Mailbag. I decided that 3 drinks was enough for the episode because I had become a little too inebriated for regular content, and I slipped right into the Afterparty zone. So the other 2 drinks are gonna come out on the Afterparty. Here they are. All right, Meredith wants a passion fruit soda, and I happen to have a bunch of passion fruit syrup, so let's do it for her. You know, usually when you make a soft drink, you actually use a lot more syrup than you would in a cocktail. So I'm actually pouring a full 2 ounces of my syrup, and because I think it was so good in that cocktail, I am gonna muddle some mint into this soda pop. And unless she objects, I'm gonna throw a couple dashes of Angostura Bitters. Okay, we're making a low ABV cocktail, very low, no ABV cocktail for a lady who hopes she's pregnant.
That is my go-to at like a bar when I'm with friends.
Bitters and soda?
Yeah, bitters and seltzer.
Me too, honestly. If I go out and I happen to be at a bar and it's like the middle of the day or something like that, and like I just have to get lunch or something, bitters and soda.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I'm not drinking, but I would like a bitters and soda.
If you utilize mouthwash while pregnant, you're getting more alcohol probably than a bitters and soda.
That's probably true, actually.
Unless you're pouring like half an ounce of bitters.
Well, I mean,
it should be a couple dashes.
A couple dashes, exactly. Sweetness, yes, I think you do want probably.
Isn't there like 2 ounces of sweetness in there already?
No, there's 2 ounces of passion fruit syrup in there, which isn't all that sweet. A half an ounce of sweetness would go nice here. Trust me, Meredith, I'm a fucking pro.
Yeah, I don't have the sweet tooth.
And whatever level of lime juice that was fine. It was like a 1/4 ounce. All right, this was already seltzerized. That's fantastic. Please confirm for the love of God that you are recording.
Oh yeah.
If I have to drink all this stuff and we're not recording, I'll be very angry. It's one of life's many, many mysteries.
Vital thing to understand.
For example, are there humans who truly have no internal monologue? Or are they just so not self-aware that they don't realize that thinking about nothing is not the same thing as thinking nothing?
Yeah, like you, I've heard that a lot of places recently, but if something is that shocking to you, you know it can't be true.
Just check the sources.
Probably not.
I tweeted all about this, and then I tweeted about how to read your sources. Or if it's an extraordinary claim, it requires extraordinary evidence, right? And the source on that is a non-peer-reviewed study, as far as I can tell, that was published as a blog post by a professor at, I think, maybe Stanford. Oh, yeah, you're gonna love that. Who did a thing where he had 30 students, and he gave them little clickers and said, when you're having an internal monologue, click it. And some of them never clicked. So he said, math. Oh, 20% of the population never has an internal monologue.
50%. It was like 50-50.
Whatever it was like, no, that was a study of how well college students have self-awareness. And also how dumb you are. That study says nothing! That's a nothing study!
Said he didn't even explain what he meant by internal monologue to these people.
Hell yeah, Meredith. That's gonna knock your socks off.
Wow. My socks are off.
Her socks flew straight off. Meredith has to pretend to be drunk. I don't have that luxury.
This is delicious. This is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Every soda should taste like this.
It really should. I want one myself, but it's work, so I'm not gonna do it. All right, let's make these last 2 mailbag cocktails. These are actually from the YouTube. I did a community post asking for people on the YouTube channel, hey, hit me with your cocktails. So YouTuber SMoop1365 made this for a holiday party for my family. It's called a Snowdrift for its blizzard-like appearance. Ounce of London Dry, ounce of Maraschino, ounce of lemon juice, ounce of Peppermint Schnapps. I assume shake and put into a coupe, as it is basically a variation on a last word. So that's easy enough. We should do that. So have you ever listened to Jethro Tull?
No.
Oh man, girl, you're missing out.
Jethro Tull.
Prog rock band from the 60s and 70s. Very heavily influenced by medieval music. 1 ounce of lemon juice, by the way. 1 ounce of London Dry. We're gonna use Tanqueray. It's fine.
I have Sweeney Todd pulled up because we were talking about what famous person they cast in the Broadway revival of Sweeney Todd, and it is, drumroll please,
Josh Groban.
Josh Groban.
Josh Groban, does he sing and dance?
Oh, he sings. He was like a Michael Bublé. It was like all the soccer moms loved them.
Oh, well, there's more people in there. Gaten Matazaro's in there. He's he's the dude from Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
And Annalie Ashford. That's a name sounds familiar, but it doesn't mean it is. 1 ounce of maraschino.
That'll draw the crowds. I guess the last show he did on Broadway, the stage door was there was just, oh my gosh, just crowds and crowds of people waiting to see him walk out.
Oh, okay.
The stage door at the end.
You said just people, not just ladies.
No, I think he's like huge with like all of Gen Z.
That might be true.
But probably mostly ladies.
Peppermint liqueur. Well, we have peppermint schnapps. I think that's what we mean. You're only slightly younger than me. Throw some ice in your shaker. Do you ever get the midnight panic, the 3 a.m. panic?
I went through, it's more of like phases. Oh, down it goes. I'll constantly have it for like 3 months and then it'll go away for a good long time.
I don't know if young people know about that. I did not. No one told me about that.
You just wake up and be like, how many years do I have left?
Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. Like, no one told me about that. The closest anybody got to telling me about that was Ray Bradbury. You ever read Something Wicked This Way Comes?
Yeah, Ray Bradbury. Yes, I have. I actually had to read that in high school.
I love that book.
Yeah.
I didn't have to read it, but I did. In Something Wicked This Way Comes, the main character. I should reread it because it might be really relevant to me now as an older man. As an elder man, he's like talks about like 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. or whatever it is, which is like the time that sets your cackles on end, and when all men know for whom the bell tolls, and like just like when like and that's how I feel. Like I wake up at like 2 a.m. and it's just like oblivion, it's waiting for me. Like it freaks me the fuck out because I want to live forever. All right, shake this. Hey man.
Yes.
If you could be immortal, would you? I'm trying to do a case of that.
So when I was little, I had the opposite of like the 3 a.m.s. Like I wouldn't be able to sleep because I was like learning the concept of like when you go to heaven, you live forever and ever and ever, and immortality, and that scared the fucking shit out of me.
Oh, weird.
Sitting there thinking about it long enough and thinking about the idea of never ending really freaked me out when I got into it.
Anyway, let's try this drink. It's called a Snowdrift, and it does have a blizzard-like appearance. Okay. Vaguely reminiscent of a Stinger, kind of out of balance. Not the worst thing I've ever had. You know what? You're going for a variation on a last word, but you goofed, because the maraschino is the sweet component in a last word, but you've added peppermint liqueur, which is also a sweet component. Ditch your maraschino, put the chartreuse back in. Watch, we're gonna do it right now. We're gonna ditch the maraschino and put the chartreuse back in.
When I saw this recipe, I thought last word as well.
Oh, it is a last word.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100%. It's 100% a variation on a last word. There's no question. So last word is lime juice, gin, maraschino, and chartreuse. To make their drink, they dropped the chartreuse,
Right.
but kept the maraschino and added peppermint schnapps. But like the truth of the matter is, peppermint schnapps should replace maraschino, not chartreuse. Now you could replace chartreuse. You could replace it with another herbal liqueur. Hypothetically, you could replace it with an amaro. I love chartreuse. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I think besides an old fashioned, the last word is the most made drink in our house.
Last words in old fashions. Daiquiris and Collins is over here because that's what Mrs. How to Drink likes to drink. Outside of the show and outside of when Mrs. How to Drink says, hey Greg, let's have a cocktail. I don't drink. Lately, I've been reaching for the Itabales. I get like a lot of inflammation from drinking. This is miserable for me. Lemon juice is in, chartreuse, gin, the peppermint.
I don't get a very red face when I drink.
Yeah, and does it not feel good?
Oh no, drinking feels.
Like I like the mind-altering effects. I like the taste of a cocktail. I really appreciate the craft of a cocktail, but it comes along with this like inflammation. Like my jaw gets so swollen, I develop an underbite or an overbite, whichever it is. Like literally, this starts closing over my teeth from drinking.
Yeah.
It's extreme how bad the inflammation is for me.
I get instant headaches is what happens for me.
That happens a lot on the show, but because of the way I'm drinking, like I'm drinking little sips throughout the day, and so I never really even get drunk. I just immediately skip to hangover.
That's truer for me now. That was not my late 20s, early 30s. Oh, bad.
Really?
Like these after parties at some point just evolve into the two of us eating edibles.
Eating what?
Taking edibles and talking.
Oh, just time travel. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I think that maybe I've been doing we do the hybrids a lot, and I think maybe it's the indica component of those that make me just time travel, which I really don't love. We did I had a pure sativa the other night, and I was like, this is much better for me, I think.
Most people, I think, are sativa over indica.
All right, anyway, this is my version. Let's see how this is, just taking your idea. This is a Snowdrift number 2, maybe, we'll see. I stand by my assessment that the Maraschino plus the mint was the mistake, but I don't think chartreuse is the move. I do think, look to some other herbal liqueur, maybe an Amaro. I think an Amaro. I think an Amaro would be cool there. Maybe Nonino, maybe Fernet. You could split it, right? Like if you think of a last word, there's 4 equal parts components. There's a sweet liqueur, there's an herbal liqueur, there's a sour component, and there's a base spirit, right? But you could take that herbal liqueur, which is the chartreuse, and you could split that into sub-components. So you could do, if it's an ounce of chartreuse, you could instead do half an ounce of Fernet Branca and half an ounce of Amaro Montenegro. You could do that. That still is a last word variation. Maybe that's what it needs. Like the chartreuse now, maybe it needs yellow chartreuse, which I almost never have or use. But right now the chartreuse is dominating this drink. It is doing a weird thing where it's like chartreuse and mint together, and it's like unusual, but also like not an entirely wonderful outcome. But it's a cool idea. And essentially what the idea here is a mint or peppermint last word. I would say explore it, but that's the place to play. Play with different herbal liqueurs until you find the one that works. Keep everything else right? You got the peppermint schnapps, the gin, lemon, try lime, I don't know. I would play mostly with different, now that I'm saying that, Final Ward uses rye, and there is an argument to be made there that like gin and peppermint is like the same note in some ways, but if you came in with like something like a darker spirit, a rye or even maybe a rum, they're playing different notes, and that's how you make a chord. If you play the same note, you create dissonance. So you want to make different notes, right? Different even octaves, probably. All right, well, that was cool. That was S. Moop's cocktail, the Snowdrift. Boy, I'm boozy. All right, now from Fruel. So this is one of several cocktails I've made themed around American singer-songwriter Tom Waits. This one is called Broken Glass. It's a riff on both a rusty nail and a last word. The name is a reference to the Tom Waits song, Just the Right Bullets, from the album, The Black Rider. Specifically this verse, you must be careful. Hold on, I'll try to do my Tom Waits voice. You must be careful in the forest, broken glass and rusty nails. If you're to bring back something for us, I have bullets for sale. That's not a Tom Waits voice at all. But without all of that music around him, I don't know what a Tom Waits voice sounds like. Ounce of Isla, ounce of Drambuie, ounce of lemon juice, ounce of dry curacao. Oh, fascinating. Weird drink. I think this is exactly the glass for it, though, happily. Just happened to have it. That's like the glass for this drink, because it's a cross between a sour glass and like something you would drink scotch out of. 1 ounce of Isla. Getting a little fancy with this. Okay, 1 ounce of Lafroig. I forget how intensely peated 10-year Lafroig is. 1 ounce of Drambuie. Now, I just want to say right off the top, that's a lot of Drambuie. Okay, so we want 1 ounce of lemon juice. 1 ounce of lemon juice. 1 ounce of 1 ounce of dry curacao. 1 ounce of dry curacao. Whew! Ooh. Well, I had a bad seal there. We got some down on my chest hair. Smells like Pirates of the Caribbean when the town is on fire.
I love that smell, though.
Come,
yeah.
Smell the rim of the shaker.
Oh yeah. Or that the one spot in Spaceship Earth
Rome is burning.
Yeah.
Mrs. Had a Drink and I, it's like shorthand. Whenever we smell that, we're like, Rome is burning.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Rome is burning. It should be like a song by the B-52s or something, but like a late B-52 song after they got into after they kind of went downhill. All right, let's strain this away.
My mind was blown by listening to their early
Yeah, man.
stuff. It's incredible.
It's post-punk, new wave, like bops, man. They're fucking great. Totally slept on.
Yeah.
It's real underground shit. I love like the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
They reinvented themselves when their guitar player, and I can't remember his name, and it's the one singer's brother. When he died, they said, we're not going to try to imitate the sound that he brought to the band. We're just going to become a new sound.
And they became much more poppy.
Yeah, but like way less successful.
Sure.
They had one hit after that point, and it was Love Shack, and it was them trying to do a song that sounded like early B-52s. The awkwardness of that is that I used to work for a certain record producer who produced all of their albums after the guitar player died. And I would always be like, boy, do I hate those songs. Anyway, Broken Glass, inspired by a Tom Waits song. Here we are. Wow, that works a lot better than I ever would have expected it to. And it actually, it's funny, we were saying it smelt like the Pirates of the Caribbean. It tastes like the Pirates of the Caribbean in a way that I like. I am shocked. Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not big on Islay scotches, so like this is a drink I'm never gonna have again. Just never gonna have again. But I am impressed. It's really, really, really cool. Works so much better than I ever thought it would be. An ounce of Drambuie is a ton for most part. Like if you make a rusty nail, I don't know what the spec is, but it's like a lot of Drambuie, and like nobody makes it that way because it's like overpowering. But here actually an ounce is apparently the right amount. It's just right on the nose. The only hitch with this drink, and it is delicious, is that it's still a slow sipper. Because Islay Scotch, like I can't personally fill my mouth with that and slosh it around and drink it, right? But this drink is a sour. And a sour, despite what my wife would love you believe, it should be gone in 4 to 6 sips, right? Like it's a living thing. It's shook, it's full of air, it's gotta be cold. You need that activation of the citrus in it, and as it like warms up, it dies. It just turns. But this drink wants to be sipped and nursed because of the Islay. So I really love it, but maybe it's actually a shooter. Maybe it's something you pour 4 of and you like quaff with some friends really quick. Because like, yeah, it contradicts itself because it is on the one hand a sour, which says drink me pretty quickly, you know? And on the other hand, it's kind of a rusty nail, which says, and then like an Islay rusty nail, which says, slow down there, big fella. It's complicated in that way. So I really love it, but I could never drink it fast enough for it to still be cold when I get to that last sip. And I know that that's gonna kind of turn this drink bad. But otherwise, brilliant drink, fantastic, well done. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. We had some really cool drinks here in the after party.
Good non-alcoholic drink with the passion fruit
She sure did. I kind of
syrup.
want one myself. But honestly, my favorite of this whole night was this passion fruit drink. As you can tell, there's so little of it left. But even this, like it's sour. Should have been drank fast. It's not that great anymore. It's like, This is good too. What was this one called?
That was the Nakatomi.
Oh, the Nakatomi Sour. Unreal. Great drinks all the way around, guys. Thank you so much for your viewer submissions. We should do more mailbag stuff in the future.
Hell yes.
We should. Let you write the show for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back with another episode of HTD in the very near future. In the meantime, check out some of these other pieces of content, these other episodes, these channels, these things that I've got going on. Look at them. Look at them. Stare them straight in the eye and pick one and click on it. And I'll see you guys very soon with another episode of Blue Blah 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 Boo Boo.